All right, everyone, hope you're having a great day. It's Friday morning that I'm recording this. It's a bit of a wet day, but I hope your week has been going well. Continuing on this week in our Experiencing God study, this Sunday we'll be launching into week 4. So just a few thoughts about that real quick. First of all, I've got a new page on our website where I have all the information about everything we're doing through this study. It's going to have my message, the links to the message audio on it, the discussion questions, the group discussion questions for each week. That's on there, as well as all the information for all the small groups. If you haven't plugged into one of those, but you'd like to do it, and just anything else relating to the study, real special content as we go through there, I'll be putting all of that on that page. Likewise, always check out my blog. Each week to week, I put new stuff on there. So anyway, as this Sunday, we're continuing to unpack what we started last week, this whole notion that God pursues a love relationship with us that is real and personal. God pursues a love relationship with us that is real and personal. And we're going to add to that the word practical, right? Very real in our lives. What does that look like? That's what we're going to start to really dive into and unpack here this Sunday. And when we talk about the reality that God invites us into His work, that's really the title of my message. God invites us into His, God's love and God's invitation is the title of my sermon. But that when God invites us, He calls us into a relationship because He invites us to join Him in what He is doing. That's one of these big realities of experiencing God. But when we talk about God inviting us into the relationship with Him and God inviting us into His work, core to that is the idea, and here's the word that we don't like to talk about some of the time, the idea of obedience. Obedience to God. And we hear that and we go, oh Lord, Ethan's going to lay it on us. I don't need to hear about obedience. But friends, here's the thing. And you may not have thought about it this way before. But when we talk about obedience to God cannot be separated from love of God. Sunday, we're talking about the inseparable connection between love and obedience, as well as some other ways that we think about how we truly do experience God in very real and practical ways in our daily lives as He calls us and invites us into that relationship with Him. So continuing to pray, friends, to pray for our church as we go through this, for God to open our hearts and what He wants to do in us and through us, that we will say yes and follow Him there. So looking forward to that. A couple other things just to share with you. End of October, around Halloween, we're doing our Trunk or Treat Fellowship. Man, it's going to be a lot of fun. It was great fun last year. If you want to be one of the cars in the parking lot that decorates the trunk of your car for trick-or-treating, we're going to have a lot more community kids this year, I think. Nikki's putting the word out there. So that's going to be a great time. Next Sunday, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, is Pastor Appreciation Sunday, and a little awkward me plugging that, but it's just a great time for us to fellowship as a church. It's not about us as your staff, but it's about us as a church having a great time of fellowship together. So you can put that on your calendar. That'll be a time, a potluck right after the service. And then just totally for fun, if you're a classical music fan, but you're also an old rocker like me, if you go down a bit, there's a video here that Emmy sent me actually from her music appreciation class at CSU. It's just a lot of fun. So you can check that out if you want. But guys, have a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you Sunday. And until then, I love you, and we'll talk to you soon.